With 1 year's experience, and one such driver is Kaidar Yanani from India, racing for Pinnacle this year. Good to see you back in the UAE once again.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to be back.
Now, last year was a very big learning curve for you. You were just getting started in your racing car journey completely. Now you have 1 year behind you. What's the difference in confidence and motivation coming in this time?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it makes quite a difference having 1 year of experience and then coming back to the same tracks. So obviously bringing back that experience and trying to take it to the next step in terms of performance, and you know, obviously it is quite competitive this year as well, maybe even more than last year, and a couple of tenths will just give you a lot of gain in terms of places.
Now, your motor racing journey is quite a peculiar one. I mean, you came to prominence when you beat Dan Wells on iRacing. What is that? Did you ever think when you were sat there in the rig thinking, well, I can convert this into being an F4 driver? Did you ever at any point think this was possible?
I mean, no, it was quite like, it happened quite quickly, you know, like as soon as it happened, then Dan, you know, came with a plan, and then we started testing, and then immediately jumped into a season of racing.
So to come straight into this now of a second year, having that wealth of experience behind you, what has changed for you over the last 12 months? How have you improved and how have you evolved as a driver?
I think for sure it comes with maturity and you know, learning myself, how I work, and what things I do off track will help me more than certain other things, and then just kind of putting it together on track.
Now, coming into 2024 with the Pinnacle Motorsport team, there's a wealth of experience there, amazing drivers who have been part of the operation in the past and now working on the engineering side. I mean, how confident does that make you, knowing that you've got such an incredible wealth and depth of experience behind you?
Yeah, it helps a lot. I mean, this is a really good team, and they've got a lot of good data and a lot of good experience with the engineers, and they can really help to boost my learning curve even further, and you know, accelerate me to be even quicker.
So considering how competitive this championship already is, which you know very well, I mean, what are your own personal expectations coming into this season? What do you think you can produce?
I think for sure finishing in the top 10 consistently is something that's quite achievable. It's just about putting it together and making sure that I'm consistent with myself throughout.
It must be difficult coming from a sort of an esports background originally rather than a karting background, when you've got all these guys that are coming into Mumbai Falcons and Race GP and PHM with all that wealth of experience. How do you adapt to that challenge?
Yeah, for me it's just about, you know, getting as much seat time as possible and balancing that out with sim as well, and being prepared for each and every event. Of course, you see certain corners, some of the drivers that come from karting will have a bit of a different philosophy, and we'll kind of be able to get up to speed quickly. So it's just about how quickly can I catch up with that.
We're looking forward to seeing how you can adapt to that, and hopefully you'll have a really strong season. Good luck.
Thank you.
We've successfully completed all of the Formula Regional Middle East Championship races of the weekend. Now we go into Formula 4 UAE Championship mode. It's going to be really exciting to see what happens under the lights for this first of 3 races here on the Yas Marina circuit. Hello everybody, great to have your company once again. Jake Sanson here in the crest of the wave of history. It's going to be a really exciting night in the floodlights of Yas Marina in Abu Dhabi, the nation's capital of the United Arab Emirates. Boy, are we excited for this one. How come? Well, qualifying has thrown up a very pleasant surprise. In pole position is the 20-year-old Dorian Pain from Ivry-sur-Seine in the southern suburbs of Paris, which has a bit of a reputation for garnering major sports talent over the years. The figure skating champion Yannick Bonheur, the basketball star for the French national team Michael Totti, and the Manchester United midfielder Hannibal Mabry, who's just gone on loan to the Spanish football club Sevilla. All were born in Ivry-sur-Seine, and now it's Dorian Pain's turn to shine. The young Mercedes junior is facing her best chance yet of a first major single-seater win against F4's Racing Elite. This is going to be a really exciting night, and so many people have been talking about this up and down the paddock for the last 6 hours or so, ever since qualifying ended. All the talk has been about, can Dorian get the job done? And the resounding answer up and down the paddock seems to be, there's no reason why she shouldn't. She's had amazing talent leading up to this point. She's shown fantastic opportunity. She's shown an immense amount of talent and speed, and this is absolutely her best chance yet of showcasing to the world firsthand exactly what she can do. And there are so many people worldwide watching this. I've been up and down the forums all day long listening to the chatter and the banter, and this is definitely going to be an exciting night. No matter what she does here from pole position, I think everybody is under no illusions that she has absolutely earned the right to be here. In a world where we have F1 Academy off the back of W Series, and everybody still debates, you know, are we ever going to see a woman in Formula One? Are they strong enough? Are they capable enough? Anybody who still believes at this point that women are not capable enough of racing on an equal playing field against the men, you can now take your club, go back to the cave and keep quiet, because Dorian Pain has proved you all resoundingly wrong. And it is wonderful to see that the Prema Racing team have given her the tools to get the job done, and she has grabbed this opportunity with both sleeves firmly rolled up. Alongside her on the starting grid is Kian Nakamura Berta, who lines up on a 154.293, a mere 9,000ths of a second slower on his lap than Dorian Pain, but that's how close it is in the F4 UAE Championship right now. Freddie Slater, third position, leading the championship by 2 points. It's going to be really, really tough for him to hold on to that over the course of these 3 races, especially considering his main championship opposition, Keanu Al-Azari, is alongside him in the championship. Now, Maria La Peña has asked, does anyone know why Nikita Bedrin isn't there? He's a main contender in the championship. Well, yes, mathematically he is, but he was only ever going to do a 3-round campaign. He is now out in Bahrain as he gets himself ready for Formula 3. It was announced a few days ago that he's going to be racing for PHM AIX in the FIA Formula 3 Championship, so that's his main focus now. He was never going to be competing for the entire championship in F4 UAE. So now he has gone. The battle for the championship is between 3 drivers, and they are currently 2nd, 3rd and 4th on the grid. Kian Nakamura Berta, who is 20 points back off the lead, Freddie Slater, who is in the lead, and Keanu Al-Azari, who is only 2 points away from the lead. So it is very exciting, and ahead of all of them is Dorian Pain. That is a very exciting race in prospect. And as I came to the commentary box window, as I came to the commentary box booth, I should say, getting out of my car and walking across to it, I noticed on my shoulder a couple of spots of rain. Now, I don't, for the moment, think it's going to break, because I don't think the clouds are going to be thick enough, but the very fact that there is the potential for a little bit of rain in the air, that is fascinating. Is it going to be a problem? I doubt it, because I think the clouds are moving quite quickly over Abu Dhabi. I don't think they're going to cause an issue, but it's just another spanner to throw into the works of potential excitement. In 5th position on the grid, behind Pain, Nakamura Berta, Slater and Al-Azari, is Rashid Al-Daheri, the only Emirati in the race. There are plenty of people who carry the UAE flag, but he is the only true Emirati, and he lives just down the road from here. In fact, between qualifying and race 1, he actually went home to chill for a little bit, because he didn't quite fancy the prospect of having all the pressure on him in between races. So he just decided to go home, take a little bit of time, chill in his own space, and he is ready from 5th on the starting grid. In P6, the boy from Miami with both American and Jamaican heritage. His uncle, Asafa Powell, was a legend of Olympic athletics, and now Alex Powell comes off the back of a sensational victory last time out when he was racing in Dubai. Managed to convert a horrifying qualifying situation where he had to go from the back of the grid essentially to charge his way through to P10. That put him towards the front of the grid for race 2 in Dubai, and he converted it into a brilliant win with an amazing set of overtakes. So he goes off 6th on the grid for this one. Watch him. He's definitely going to be a contender. Enzo Deligny, the Frenchman who carries the Red Bull paint on his car. It's going to be an interesting one. The Frenchman, who is masterminded by the 2-time FIA karting world champion Lorenzo Travasanuto. He is going to be there in 7th position on the starting grid, alongside Dion Gauda, who has returned to the front end of the field after a very difficult start to the season. There in the white shirt on the telephone, you can see there is Karim Al-Azari. That is Keanu's father, who is very excited about the prospect of his son battling for the title, as is the entirety of the Yazhi Academy team, managed by Matthew Norman, one of the 2 founding members of this championship, all the way back in 2016. He has literally gone from gamekeeper to poacher. On 9th position of the grid and 10th position of the grid are the two high-tech Pulsate drivers, the British teammates Deegan Fairclough and Gabriel Stilp, who were very wise and very sensible in between qualifying and race. They spent pretty much the entirety of the downtime sitting, chilling, watching Asian Le Mans and playing video games on their mobile phone. Absolutely the right way to chill. Matteo Quintarelli, 11th position on the starting grid on row 6. He's definitely in a much better position than he was in Dubai. Hopefully he's going to be able to convert a strong grid position into a strong race. Definitely has good potential for that. 12th on the grid is Chu Yanpu. Finally, the Chinese driver has a competitive grid position to start from, and he is another of the 3 Mercedes juniors in this race. The other 2, of course, being Alex Powell and Dorian Pin. But Chu Yanpu is definitely one to watch. He never had a lot of luck in karting, but here in cars, he is hoping to be able to transform that and turn it around, and his pace shows that he does have the potential to make that happen. 13th on the grid is Gilles Caranta, who is enjoying his French merry-go-round of swapping seats. In round 1 and 2 of the championship, he was at the Santalok race team. My apologies. For round 1 and 2, he was at Race GP. For round 3 in Dubai, he was at Santalok. And for round 4, he has returned to Race GP once again after Rafael Norak has departed the team. Well, actually, Rafael Norak has not departed the team, my apologies, but there was definitely a seat available at Race GP. So he now gets the opportunity to race with the team. Reza Sawurthan is lining up 14th on the grid. That's his best qualifying performance of the season so far, as we're looking at one of the new boys in the mix, Thomas Stolchemanis of Latvia for the Prema Racing team. So Reza Sawurthan, who has got the entire Bournemouth posse with him out in Yas Marina this weekend. Great to see, and he's got a massive amount of support. He can really put on a good show from here, and it's great to see that he is now a lot closer to his high-tech Pulsate teammates up in front. Enzo Ye lining up 15th on the grid for this one. Should be interesting to continue his fantastic run of form. So we'll get to see what he can do from his position on the grid. Then we have Sebastian Murray, the Scottish driver who lives out here in the United Arab Emirates with his younger brother Max, of course, who is also a very prolific young karter out here and is doing well to compete for the United Arab Emirates karting titles, as well as racing in Europe later in the year. Alvis Rodella, who has an opportunity from 17th on the grid to try and at least go for a reverse grid pole. There is Everett Stack, the PHM AIX driver from the United States of America. He's going to have an interesting run from the tail end of the field. Alvis Rodella lines up on the 9th row alongside Max Popov. And then we have 2 new faces on the 10th row of the starting grid. In 19th place is the Japanese driver Hyu Yamakoshi, who has an amazing amount of ability. I saw him in the world of senior karting, and he had very little budget to play with and was able to do a heck of a lot with it. So Hyu Yamakoshi, definitely a talent for the future. I can certainly see him battling for Super Formula and Super GT races in the future. And if you're Japanese, that is the motor racing pinnacle other than Formula 1. Davide Larini is on the starting grid as well. He's lining up 20th on the grid, and as the surname suggests for the hardcore motor racing fans, yes indeed, his father Nicola Larini is here in the paddock, supporting his son as he makes his debut in the championship. He's basically going to have these 6 races, 3 at Yas Marina and 3 in Dubai, to kind of get himself off the starting block a little bit for 2024. He raced in Italian F4 last season, and he's going to be returning to the championship again this year. But these 2 weekends are a good chance for him to hit the reset button. Zak Skula having a very difficult qualifying session, 21st on the grid in Yas Marina. It seems that Dubai suits him better, perhaps, than the Yas Marina circuit does, but he'll be charging his way back from there. Tiago Rodriguez struggled in qualifying, 22nd on the grid for him. Lucas Samalisto lining up alongside Rafael Norak, and then the Australian Jack Beaton. He goes on the 13th row of the grid. Very tough times for AGI Sport this time in qualifying as well. Tough lap times for the Sri Lankan talent from Colombo, Yavan David, who lines up 26th on the grid. But don't you worry, folks, the Bat will rise. That is his moniker. He's known to all of his mates as the Bat. So Yavan David is going to be charging his way back. Kai Darianani, who you heard in our pre-show, 27th on the starting grid as he lines up alongside Liu Kai-shun. And then in 29th on the grid, taking part in his first qualifying session as an F4 driver of any kind, I do believe, the Latvian Thomas Stolchemanis. His car is not in Prema colours, but he is part of the Prema team. In fact, he's in the jet black carbon colours that are the original undershell of the car. So it looks a bit like a Batmobile version of an F4 car for Thomas Stolchemanis. So keep an eye on him as he tries to charge his way through. Nicolas Starti lining up 30th on the grid for this one for the AGI Sport team. And then the final 4 cars on the grid are going to be Maxi Restrepo and then Everett Stack. And then 2 men who had their last lap times deleted, Kamal Murad and Fuyu Hao. So they're going to be going off the very back end of the grid. And Fuyu Hao, or Felix, as he is known to the members of the Pinnacle Motorsport team, will be wanting to charge his way through. So the positions that you've got on the starting grid, there are a couple of grid drops. So Alves Rodella was due to start 14th. He now starts 17th due to the grid penalty he received in Dubai. And then car 3, that's Thiago Rodriguez, also got a 3-place grid penalty for his part in the Deegan Fairclough incident that ended race 3 in Dubai last week. So that brings us pretty much up to speed. So it really is going to be a fascinating situation now as Dorian Pain heads off into the lead of the formation lap. So can Dorian Pain put all the doubters to sleep and prove that she has what it takes? We all in the paddock already know she has what it takes. 20 years of age, very talented, very skillful, has already garnered the attention of the Mercedes Junior program. She'll be racing in the F1 Academy this year, and many people have already talked her up as the potential champion of 2024 before they've even turned a wheel in practice. But this is going to be such an opportunity now. And Dorian Pain will not want to let this go. She's a very passionate individual, very hard-working. She's dedicated, she's motivated, and this would be fantastic for her. So obviously in the days prior to Top Speed's overhaul of the F4 UAE Championship, there was a female winner prior to that, and that was Hamda Al-Kubaisi, who won on this very circuit at Yas Marina 3 years ago. But in the current incarnation of F4 UAE, there's yet to be a female winner. So we've waited 3 years for the first opportunity. We had a few drivers on the grid, of course, recently in Aurelia Nobels, Carrie Schreiner, and Tina Hausmann. They've all gone back to Europe to prepare for F1 Academy. But Dorian Pain has remained, and she is determined she's going to win before the end of the season. She's certainly going to get a podium before the end of the season, even if she can't take the victory. But her pace in practice, followed by the pace in qualifying, suggests to us that this isn't just a flash in the pan. This is a proper fight for Dorian Pain. She is going to have an opportunity here, but it's going to be really, really close from Kian Nakamura-Berta. He's going to want to try and get past her into the first corner. Freddie Slater and Keanu Al-Azari, of course, in 3rd and 4th, are in the middle of a championship vanguard. This is going to be a really exciting race. And watch out as well for Rashid Al-Daheri and Alex Powell. They've had some great performances. Alex Powell taking a win, Rashid Al-Daheri taking a podium here on home soil a few weeks ago. So there's an opportunity knocking here. And there's at least, for my money, 7 to 8 drivers that could win this race. It's so close between the championship contenders. Al-Daheri is not far off that, only a 10th back from Keanu Al-Azari in qualifying. Another 10th back is Alex Powell. All you need is a decent slipstream, and you can really make this race rock. Who else is worth having a look at through the field? Well, Fairclough and Still, but definitely going to be taking on prisoners in the high-tech Pulsate team. I think it's going to be a really interesting shout for them. There should be some charges through the field. Watch for Matteo Quintarelli trying to break into the points. On the reverse grid pole at the moment is Chu Yanpu of China. He'll want to emulate fellow Mercedes F1 juniors Dorian Pain and Alex Powell and get further towards the top 5. I actually fancy the chances of Jules Caranta and Reza Suerthan in this one. And also, see if you can spot Zach Skula, Jack Beaton and Jovan David charging through from the back of the pack. They are quite good at that. So it's going to be a really sensational situation for them. So let's see who is going to get this job done. Dorian Pain will go in pole position. 2nd on the grid, Kian Nakamura-Berta. 3rd on the grid, Freddie Slater, championship leader. Keanu Al-Azari, 4th position on the grid. So Dorian Pain is going to be there in position from the pole in the red and white Prema to the left of your screen. To the right is going to be Kian Nakamura-Berta in the Mumbai Falcon. Who is going to be able to charge through to the first corner first? It is going to be very tough. And watch out for Slater and Al-Azari. The championship contenders are going to want to charge right from the outset. The lights are coming on here at Yas Marina. Who's going to get the run to the first corner? Let's race at Yas Marina! And it's a great start from Kian Nakamura-Berta. Dorian Pain's trying to go defensive, but Nakamura-Berta's going to get there. Slater and Al-Azari collide! The championship leaders have collided! Slater and Al-Azari in the wall. They're out! The championship contenders are out of this race. I cannot believe it. Slater and Al-Azari have come together, Hamilton and Verstappen style, and several other drivers are bouncing over the curbs. This is our absolute nightmare for Slater and Al-Azari. It's heaven sent for Kian Nakamura-Berta. If he wins this race, he will take the lead of the championship away from both of them. Absolutely an extraordinary start to this race. The championship contenders, Slater and Al-Azhari, have collided and are out of this one. Nakamura Berta leads, Dorian Bass second, Rashid Al-Ahri third in front of Enzo Deligny. And of course, the start line incident is under investigation. I cannot believe it. The two championship contenders are out. Keanu Al-Azhari in the wall, Slater in the wall as well. Neither will score points, but what an opportunity now for Kian Nakamura Berta. Slater is out, the car is bent, and so are his chances in race one. And now both men are going to be starting race two from the back. Neither of them could score points in the first two races of the weekend. Kian Nakamura Berta, the rookie sensation, has been given a golden ticket to the big show as Caranta gets a move on the inside of Quintarelli. He can't finish the job. And are we going to go safety car with those two machines out of position? Yes, we are. Safety car. Wow, what a start. That has completely thrown a curveball into the championship fight. Just like last year when James Wharton and Tuukka Tarpanen collided in the fight for the championship. Here's the start again. Little bit of a bog down from Dorian Bain. Nakamura Berta gets the perfect launch. Slater nudges Al-Azhari across, and there's contact. Absolutely disastrous for the championship contenders. Can you believe it? Keanu Al-Azhari, thumbs up, but he can't believe it. What were you doing? What were you doing? Well, he's not happy, and rightly so. Freddie Slater comes to tell his side of the version of events, and the two championship contenders are having a debate about it. Well, this is when the tension really starts to rise. Two drivers fighting for the championship. They're not going to have the same opinion. Oh my goodness. Well, it seems fairly amicable anyway. Let's look again. So watch the second row. Nakamura Berta gets a good start. Now Slater pulls across on Al-Azhari. They're both off the road, and they just lock wheels. There's not enough room to play. And both cars are in the wall, destroyed. So now race two is going to be a fight for both men to get back into the points. This could not be any more dramatic if you asked it to be. Wow. Freddie Slater of Great Britain and Keanu Al-Azhari of the United Arab Emirates have collided. The championship leaders fighting for the championship, and they're in the wall. I was going to mention, just as we saw last year between James Wharton and Tuukka Tarpanen in the last race of the season on this very circuit, when the championship contenders collided and the title went to James Wharton, now it looks like that collision could spell a potential heartbreak in the championship for both of them. Nakamura Berta, don't forget, is only 20 points back, and there's 25 points available for the win. So if Nakamura Berta wins this race, he suddenly becomes the championship leader. Wow, what an absolutely unbelievable turn of events. Freddie Slater and Keanu Al-Azhari collide at Yas Marina, and in the championship fight, it's blown wide open. So now Kian Nakamura Berta has an unbelievable opportunity. And I'm sure everybody at the Alpine Academy, in Slovakia, in Japan, and in London, his family, will be absolutely apoplectic with excitement. Nakamura Berta leads under safety car. Dorian Bain is in second place. Rashid Al-Ahri in third. Then Enzo Deligny, Alex Powell, Dion Gauda, Gabriel Stilp, Reza Suwerthan, Matteo Quintarelli, Jules Caranta, Sebastian Murray, and currently reverse grid pole is going the way of Enzo Ye. Then it's Max Popov all the way up to 13th. He's had an amazing start, considering that he was starting Max Popov in 18th. He's now in 13th place. Abis Radella 14th from Zach Skula, who's had an amazing start, 15th for him. Hiro Yamakoshi, Rafael Narak, Jack Beaton, Lucas Amalisto, Ivan David, Davide Lorini, Kamal Murad, Everett Stack, Liu Kaishun, Nicolas Stati, Chuyan Pu, who's had a nightmare start, all the way down to 26th for him. Fu Yu Hao, Thomas Stolchamanis, Maxi Restrepo, and Thiago Rodriguez, and it looks to me as though Deegan Fairclough has been into the pits. So Deegan Fairclough has dropped to the back of the race as well. He's not had a good start, and considering he already had 3 miserable races in Dubai, he certainly didn't need another one here in Yas Marina. Kai Daryanani has been into the pits as well, I do believe. So has found himself down at the back. Now, are we going to go racing this time by? Because we've got good at doing just one lap behind the safety car, but the lights are still on. So I think the clean-up job is still underway here. Safety car in at the end of the lap. Okay, so the lights are going out. So this is Kia Nakamura-Berta now needing to back up the pack with not a lot of time to do anything about it. Kia Nakamura-Berta needs to slow this pack up, but it's not going to be a lot in this. He's not going to have a lot of time to do anything about it. So Nakamura-Berta is indeed backing up the pack, and now he's going to go for it. So they haven't really bunched up the field as much as you would expect, but off we go racing. It's green, 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 and Kia Nakamura-Berta leads here from Dorian Pan, who gets a good restart. So too does Rashid Al-Daheri. Enzo Deligny is going to have pressure from Alex Powell on the restart. And off we go again, and side by side, we've got Dion Gauda and Gabriel Stilp. Stilp is going to try and go right round the outside of Dion Gauda. Surely that's not going to work. But then you haven't met Gabriel Stilp, have you? He goes side by side, and he has to back out of it in the end as he goes wide on the curb. But Gabriel Stilp absolutely reaching to try and get this overtake done. Bit of a slide from Gauda, Stilp still going for it as Nakamura-Berta leads. Pan is in second place, then Al-Daheri. Enzo Deligny in fourth. So Enzo Deligny is the best of the non-Mumbai Falcon / Prema squad. And Alex Powell is trying to get his moves done on Enzo Deligny. Deligny was talking a confident game in Dubai. He said, I fancy my chances of podiums. And he really is right up there in fourth position in the Red Bull colours. What a sensational race this could be now, with the two main players in the championship gone. And Nakamura-Berta hoping to take the lead in the championship. Pan is doing a good job here to hold on in front of Rashid Al-Daheri, as Gabriel Stilp has got a car that's responding rather dramatically, to put it the mildest, through the S's there. Bit of a lock-up from Dorian Pan, but she holds the car through in second place ahead of her teammate Rashid Al-Daheri. As they go down the back straight, Rashid Al-Daheri would definitely love to get a victory, and there's a great opportunity for that now. The true Emirati in the field. There are several drivers who carry the UAE flag because they reside here, but only one of them is a true Emirati in the sense of the word. Alex Powell is going to have an attack on Enzo Deligny. Red Bull Junior versus Mercedes Junior, and there's very nearly contact between them. Deligny hangs on, but the back end kicks out, and Alex Powell's going to get the move. Oh, proper intimidation from the man from Miami. And here comes the move as well from Dion Gauda. The Indian driver is going to get alongside Enzo Deligny as well. That's going to be enough, surely, to get him into fifth position before they even reach the braking point. And Gauda gets it done, sends it round the outside, but Deligny's going to try again on the inside, can't get it done, and Dion Gauda holds P5, lovely. Whoops, bit of a run wide there from Reza Sawirthan. So Sawirthan is right in behind his teammate Gabriel Stilp now, with Deegan Fairclough gone, dropping to the back of the field. It's up to Reza Sawirthan to stick with his teammate like glue. And Sebastian Murray isn't that far away either. He's in 11th place, looking for a front row start for race 2 tomorrow. Don't forget, it's the top 12 finishers that are reversed on the grid. Look how tight the top 3 still are. Nakamura-Berta not able to get away from Pan or Al-Daheri. So this is going to be a tough race for the 3 drivers. Nakamura-Berta won on his debut, don't forget. And Pan and Al-Daheri have not yet won a race in F4 UAE this season. In fact, Dorian Pan has yet to stand on the podium, but a great chance coming. And there is an investigation going on for Thiago Rodriguez and Maxi Restrepo, who are under investigation for a safety car infringement. Not entirely sure what that entails, but we'll try and keep an eye on it. So really exciting battles out there on the course. That's a bit of defensive tactics from Reza Sawirthan to try and keep Matteo Quintarelli and Jules Caranta behind him. Nice work from the Bournemouth boy. Quintarelli's got a chance though. He lives in Dubai, Matteo Quintarelli. He knows what the circuit conditions are like here. Comes the opportunity. Reza Sawirthan absolutely flirting with the white line on the inside run. But Quintarelli's got a good run off the hairpin. This is up to you now, Reza. Quintarelli's going to have you. Turns in, and Reza hasn't backed out of it. So if Reza can get back on the power, he should be able to get away from Jules Caranta. I think they'll get away with that one. Slight worry that an end plate on a wheel could cause a puncture, but so far nothing doing for Matteo Quintarelli, as now Jules Caranta takes on Reza Sawirthan and gets the job done round the outside. So Jules Caranta now setting off after his former team, Matteo Quintarelli, his former teammate last week. So not bad running here from Jules Caranta. Still having a very solid race of it as he continues his brilliant run. Here they come again. Really exciting challenge. The drivers continue the battle. Great squabble continuing on here. There is Reza Suwerthan. As through they come again. Nakamura Berta just trying to stretch the lead a little bit here from Dorian Ba and Rashid Al-Lahiri. Just trying to build a little bit of a margin. 4th place for Alex Powell, 5th for Dion Gauda, 6th for Enzo De Ligny, and then still Quintarelli, Suwerthan, Caranta. It looks like Caranta's actually got past Reza Suwerthan now, so he is now through and into. Well, that's going to be putting him past another place. So Caranta ahead of Suwerthan, that puts him into 9th position. Enzo Ye still looking good to put himself into the reverse grid pole by being in P12. Lots to fight for in this one. Bit of a wobble there, a twitch from Gabriel Still. Gotta be so careful not to overstretch. Actually, that was Reza Suwerthan. So it's his teammate Sebastian Murray that's now coming for him on the inside line, and he's got it. Good driving from Sebastian Murray. Reza Suwerthan didn't really have much of a response he could take there. Sebastian Murray asserted himself on the inside line. I've got this, I'm going to make this work. And Sebastian Murray looking the most confident I've ever seen him in F4 UAE. Good stuff from the Scottish talent. And here comes Enzo Ye. Enzo Ye is going to have a look on the inside here of Reza Suwerthan. Now, this is an interesting dynamic we've got here because Suwerthan has now been passed by Caranta and Murray. But if he gets passed by one more, and there is Enzo Ye, then he will start from pole position in tomorrow's race. So Reza Suwerthan will quite happily go for a 12th place finish if he can have it. As Gilles Caranta goes wheel to wheel with Matteo Quintarelli into turn 1. So can he get there? Not quite able to do so. And Gilles Caranta waits for another opportunity now on Matteo Quintarelli. A very dramatic race continuing. A lot of track limits warnings. 1 for Matteo Quintarelli, 1 for the number 6, that is Gabriel Still, 1 for the number 21. That, of course, is Ivan David, the Sri Lankan, who's trying to work his way back through the pack. Still, they fight on in the midfield. Gabriel Still maybe now driven a little bit away from Quintarelli and Caranta. There is Murray, Suwerthan, Ye, and diving up the inside, that's Alves Bradella. Very tidy move on the inside there of Max Popov. Excellent from Alves Bradella, and he knows that 12th position could be on here. He wants to take the chance of it, especially knowing that Zach Skula is not far away as well. So Zach Skula, the Australian who lives out here in the UAE, has an epic opportunity now. He just needs to pass these 2 guys in front, and then Enzo Ye, and his weekend could be salvaged with a reverse grid pole for race 2. That's why they're fighting so avidly just outside the top 10, because if you finish 12th, you'll be pole position for race 2. There's always something to fight for. There's Jack Beaton, tucked up behind the 66 of Hio Yamakoshi, the Pinnacle driver, upstaging the 2 regular drivers. So the Japanese talent doing a great job. Hio Yamakoshi, definitely one for the future. Certainly one that could emulate the comic book character of Kapita Taira. Yes, I do watch my manga. So there is Thomas Stoltjemanis, the Latvian Batmobile, working his magic to go wheel to wheel with Kai Daryanani. But Daryanani looks like he's got an opportunity here, and he's going to out-drag him to the next corner. So Daryanani's got the place. All looking very good, but can he get the move finished off here? Stoltjemanis is having to learn on the job. Comes up through the chicane in that all-carbon colours. Fair play to Dorian Pash. She may not have got the best start, but she's definitely having a good race here, keeping Kian Nakamura Berta honest. There's not a lot that the teenager can do to shake her off at the moment. Rashid Al-Lahiri can't keep up with her either. This is really good racecraft. 13.5 minutes still to go in this one, as Thomas Stoltjemanis is really struggling to keep Kai Daryanani at bay, and Daryanani has the place. So good work from Kai Daryanani and the Pinnacle team. As back to the front we go. Nakamura Berta, Dorian Bang, Rashid Al-Lahiri. Could be really exciting now from this moment onwards, as the 2 Prema Racing teammates try to take on the Mumbai Falcon of Kian Nakamura Berta, who is just a few minutes away from taking the lead of the championship. Can you believe the way tonight has gone? We thought it was going to be one-way traffic all the way. We knew that mathematically Nakamura Berta had a chance, but now he's right in the vanguard of the title fight, especially if he can finish the job here and take the victory. If he does so, he'll shoot up to 139 points, 138 points in fact, and that will put him 3 ahead of Freddie Slater and 5 ahead of Keanu Al-Azari with 5 races to go in 2024. Talk about an amazing title battle. It's now anybody's. Enzo Deligny trying to take on Dion Gauda once again as they battle away for 5th position. A little bit of a gap back to the man in P7. That, of course, is Gabriel Stilp ahead of Matteo Quintarelli, Jules Caranta and Sebastian Murray looking for more points. Here comes the opportunity, side by side. This is Everett Stack dueling away with Maxi Restrepo, the Colombian, who is masterminded by Juan Pablo Montoya. Oh, it's gone very badly wrong. Max Restrepo nearly rolls it. Ends up in the wall. I tell you what, he's out of the race, but he's a very lucky man. Goodness me, that could have been a horrible barrel roll. Very similar to Nico Hulkenberg in Formula 1 a few years ago. And diving up the inside of Enzo Ye, that's Alvis Bradella, not prepared to come second best in this battle. So Enzo Ye's going to drift wide. Bradella having another look under the W Hotel. Enzo Ye really running scared now in 12th position. He's got Bradella, Popov, Skula and Yamakoshi all over the place behind him. They all want 12th position, they all want reverse grid pole, and they're all going to do whatever it takes to get there. Double yellow flag between 5 and 6. And you wonder, there's debris at turn 7, is there going to be a safety car for that incident with Restrepo? Yeah, because you've got a front wing there. It's in the middle of the road. Let's see what happened. So this is a corner before. So this is Restrepo getting the run on Everett Stack. Oh, and Everett Stack wasn't happy about that. Kept his foot in. And at the end of the straight, he tried again. Restrepo tried to hold it. Round the outside comes the move from Everett Stack. Slides on the curb, bang! Hits Restrepo, and he's very lucky he didn't roll it. And the safety car's been deployed. Well, I think that one was fairly inevitable. Ooh, goodness me. Maxi Restrepo, the Colombian, very fortunate indeed that that didn't go over. He went about as far on 2 wheels as is possible to go without rolling over. That was a proper Gabriele Tarquini in touring cars moment. But he is very lucky indeed that he didn't get pitched into a barrel roll there. He's out of the race, but it could have been so much worse. And naturally, the cars will go through pit lane because of the debris that is out on the race circuit. They're going to allow the marshals a chance to go and clear it. There are a couple of drivers who are not quite sure what order they're supposed to be in. So they're coming into the pits side by side. It's not exactly the best solution to the problem. So debris on the circuit is the reason why we've got safety car, because there is a wing in the middle of the circuit on an acceleration zone. So that is quite a difficult situation there. Well, this is a great chance, though, for Dorian Bain. She now has a chance to have another crack at Kia Nakamura-Berta. She's clearly had the speed in this section of the race to keep him under pressure. So let's see if we're going to have a decent run. Now, the marshal runs to the scene. No problems at all for him to collect that. He's got time to do it. Well done, buddy. And we should only have a 1-lap safety car. But you had to take the safe route there, so well done to the marshal for doing so. Here, Nakamura-Berta getting ready for the restart. Here's what happened again. So Everett Stack going the long way round. Now, Maxi Restrepo's left him room, so if you're a racing driver, you look at that gap and you go for it. And unfortunately, he just catches the curb on the inside, and that pushes the car into Restrepo's. So there was nothing intentional about that, nothing stupid. He's a racing driver, he's got to go for it. The gap is there. But unfortunately, he just clipped one wheel on that sausage curb, and it spat the car to the left, and unfortunately, that's where Restrepo already was. So, not really anything you can do when you consider that these drivers are, on the whole, teenagers. They're learning. As I've said many times before in this sport, this is not like football or tennis or cricket or athletics, where you do all your hard work behind closed doors and nobody sees it. Think about when Manchester United plays Bayern Munich in the under-21s. You never see that match. It's never televised. You only really see these players and these competitors when they are ready for the top level, when they are ready to go and fight in the Champions League, in the Premiership, in the upper echelons of international football or sporting competition. At this sport, in motorsport, thanks to the world of karting now being broadcasted, you are under scrutiny from the age of 9. It is impossible pressure to deal with. And these guys are basically making mistakes right in front of your eyes as they learn, as they develop, as they hone and nurture that talent. So for people to say, well, he's made a stupid mistake there, well, so would you at the same age. They've got to learn how to do that sometime. And sometimes, when the cameras are on, unfortunately, not only do all your best works get shown, some of your mistakes get shown as well. So just give them a little bit of grace. These guys are teenagers. So Kian Nakamura ready for the restart. Dorian Pain, one of the older drivers in the field, 20 years of age, from Ivry-sur-Seine, just in the southern suburbs of Paris. And then in third place, we have Rashid Al Daheri, whose home is literally a few miles from here. Now, is that safety car light going to go out? I would suggest it probably is, because obviously the debris has now been cleared on the main straight. Got to make sure that Kian Nakamura has seen it. He'll certainly see it from where he is at the front end of the pack. Are the lights going to go out this time? Surely they should. The pack is backed up big time this time. So hopefully we're going to see those lights out on the safety car and we are going to go racing this time. But apparently safety car remains out. So clearly something else needs to be addressed. Not entirely sure what it is. But I don't think it's the only incident that needs to be taken care of. Or at least it's a little bit longer to take care of than perhaps it would normally be. 6 minutes to go. So the safety car continues on for one more lap. Can't exactly see where the incident that needs to be looked after is. I think there's, maybe it's a little bit of awkwardness actually getting that car moved out of its position. For whatever reason it is, we may not be able to see it, but that doesn't mean there isn't a very justified reason for the safety car being out. You can't have doubt in these situations. That's the key factor. You may look at this and think, well, the circuit's fine. Why are we still under safety car? You don't know all the facts. Neither do I. In race control, they know more than we do. So if there's a reason, maybe the extraction vehicle is not back in its original reset position, maybe a barrier's needing to be readjusted to make sure it's safe for these guys to go racing again. The one thing you cannot do with these guys, particularly at F4 level, is go, let's just see what happens. That's when the worst possible case scenarios are likely to crop up. So don't go there. Just let them finish the job. You'll still get the motor racing you want. You still get the great battles out there on the course. So let's see how it's going to be. Kian Nakamura on the verge of taking the lead of the championship. I cannot believe I'm saying that, because the consistency and the speed of Slater and Al-Azhari have been so strong this year. For them to take each other out of this race has just been extraordinary. On the first lap, they didn't even make it to turn one. And now Kian Nakamura is staring 25 points in the face, and if he wins, he actually takes the lead of the championship by 3 points to Slater and 5 points to Al-Azhari. This is an absolute game changer in this championship. Keanu Al-Azhari and Freddie Slater have been so focused on each other that they've forgotten the big picture. And now Kian Nakamura is about to paint his own. The safety car comes into the pits this time. So we are going to go racing, and Kian Nakamura is going to back up the pack. 4 minutes to go. So depending on when they cross the finish line, in a couple of laps' time, we could have 3, maybe 4 laps of racing. And this will be 3 of the most exciting that we've ever seen. Absolutely extraordinary. Wow, absolutely amazing. So let's see how this is going to play out. Nakamura backing the pack up big style, still weaving. Behind is Dorian Pain, behind is Rashid Al Daheri. Nakamura is the only driver in the top 5 still weaving. So Dorian Pain is trying to anticipate when Kian Nakamura is going to floor the throttle. Is it now? Get ready, Dorian. Indeed it is, and she's actually reacted fairly well. Rashid Al Daheri is going to have a little bit more to do. But that's a good restart from Nakamura. Not a bad reaction from Dorian Pain, and it's green, 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 green. We're off and away again here at Yas Marina. And Alex Powell has a chance at the podium. He's going to try and take on Rashid Al Daheri for 3rd. So good restarts from Nakamura, Dorian Pain, and Alex Powell in particular. And up the inside comes Enzo Deligny to try and take on Dion Gauda. And he's through, as he knows he's not quite made it. But further back, still been Quintarelli having a terrific duel. Quintarelli senses he can get some big points in this one. And Gabriel Stilp is the man in his way. Can they make it happen on the way to the W Hotel? Deligny closing up on Dion Gauda again. Number 77 is under investigation for cutting turn 13 on lap 7. That's Enzo Ye. If he gets a penalty, then the reverse grid pole will go the way of Alves Rodella, who's already had a reverse grid pole. He had one last week in Dubai as Reza Suwerthan goes a little bit wide. He's in 11th place. Lots of wheel spin from Reza Suwerthan as he comes onto the home straight in Formula 1. And there is Zak Skula. He's actually closing up on the potential for a reverse grid pole. If Enzo Ye gets a penalty, he needs to get past Alves Rodella. There's a big dive there from Kamal Murad on Lucas Amalisto. He gets through, and that's Davide Larini lining up an opportunity as well. Trying to get through on the inside. He had to bail out at the last moment, but that could have been messy. And now Liu Kai-shun is going to try and have a go. Down in the braking zone. This is Jack Beaton trying to come around the outside of Hyu Yamakoshi. Japan versus Australia. Look at Dorian Pan. She really is attacking Kia Nakamura-Berta in the slipstream. I don't think Nakamura-Berta's going to have this all his own way. I think Dorian Pan might get a chance. Meanwhile, Rashid Al-Daheri's having to go defensive against Alex Powell. Oh, what a launch from Deligny! Now, can he finish that on the exit? He's going to get wheel spin. Dion Gowda's going to get side by side with him. And they're going to be in a drag race to the first corner. Deligny versus Gowda. And Rashid Al-Daheri's going wheel to wheel with Alex Powell as well. Two Mumbai Falcons having an absolute war. Al-Daheri will hold the podium for the moment. Can he turn the radius? Yes, he can. Deligny back on the inside of Gowda. That's good enough for 5th position. So now we've got 3 Mumbai Falcons dueling with somebody else in the top 6. We've got a battle for first, a battle for third, and a battle for 5th. And now Gabriel Stilp has joined that. So too have Quintarelli and Caranta. So we are going to finish on a high by the look of it. 30 seconds to go. So we are only going to have 3 laps of green flag. That's a spinner. It's Zak Skula. Zak Skula, and he's stranded at the chicane. Come on, Zak, get the engine going. We want this race to go the distance. I really hope he can get some traction into those wheels. We want this race to go all the way. Especially now that Dorian Pan is attacking Nakamura-Berta. Now that Powell is attacking Al-Daheri. Now that Deligny's got a train of 5 behind him, all warring and waging a fantastic battle. And there's damage to Hyu Yamakoshi. He's got Yvan David right behind him. As wheel to wheel, we've got Thiago Rodriguez going up the inside of Kai Darianani. Oh, Zak, I really hope you've managed to move that car. I really want this race to go on. So do all of you. Kia Nakamura-Berta leads Dorian Pan. Al-Daheri, Powell, Deligny. And as they approach the back straight, we're going to get to see now. I think Zak Skula has actually managed to bring it back to the pits. There's no safety car, so we are going to go the distance. We arrive on the scene, and yes, Zak Skula has managed to move the car. Good boy, Zak. At least we can keep racing. So Dorian Pan is going to try one last lap to get under the skin of Kia Nakamura-Berta. Even if she doesn't do it, she'll still get a brilliant 2nd place, her first podium of the season. Here we go. And there's a black and orange flag being shown to Hyu Yamakoshi with a broken front wing. So he will have to come into the pits anyway, and he does indeed. So Yamakoshi enters pit lane. His chances of reverse grid pole have gone. So now there is just one more lap remaining, and Nakamura-Berta trying his best to hang on here in front of Dorian Pan, who is still trying to get her first win of the season. Lockups between Quintarelli and Caranta. 2 drivers that have had a lot of bad luck, but have also shown their skill and flair. Can they finish strong this time? And so too, hopefully, can Sebastian Murray and Reza Suwerthan behind them. Could be some good points for a lot of good talent here. And that is a spin. That is the 33 of... Now that is Max Popov. So Max Popov is out of it on the final lap. Dorian Pan is still trying to close up on Nakamura-Berta. I just don't think she's going to get close enough unless she can have a fantastic run through Sector 3 and then get into the slipstream of Nakamura-Berta and try something special in the chicane. But I just don't see it getting that close. She can do everything she possibly can. The race wasn't lost at the start. As far as I'm concerned, she still had a great opportunity to close up on Kia Nakamura-Berta, and she's done everything she can. But it looks as though 2nd is all she's going to get from this one. It's a great run, and she can be very proud of herself. Rashid Al-Daheri in front of Alex Powell. That battle to the podium could go to the final line as well. But out in front, Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a new championship leader. It's not Freddie Slater, it's not Keanu Al-Azari, it is going to be Kian Nakamura Berta. Out of the final turn, can you believe it? The championship has been blown wide open. Kian Nakamura Berta wins at Yas Marina in race 1. Oh my goodness, the championship is wide open. Dorian Bain in a terrific second place. Rashid El Lahiri will be on the podium at home again. What a sensational race. And Kian Nakamura Berta becomes the new championship leader. Can you believe it? The rookie is suddenly now the toast of the town here tonight. And with 2 races to go tomorrow, in which one of them, both of his opposition, will be starting at the back, this is an opportunity that he will not need asking about twice. Kian Nakamura Berta could leave here with a very strong championship lead. But with 5 races to go in the championship, anything could happen. Absolutely anything could happen now. Everybody who thought this championship was a done deal for Slater, or suddenly going to be a bit of an amazing comeback for Keanu Al-Azari, you all forgot about Kian Nakamura Berta, the young driver for the Alpine Academy, who so far has been kind of off the radar, or at least under the radar. Not anymore. Kian Nakamura Berta. His father is Slovakian, his mother is Japanese, he lives in London, and what a sensational opportunity this is now for the truly continental, truly global Leviathan that is this young talent. He won on his car racing debut, don't forget, back here in race 1. And he has absolutely managed to channel that again here. He knows the championship isn't done. He knows that it's only just beginning. What a performance from Kian Nakamura Berta. The Mumbai Falcons will go to bed happy tonight. But what a result this has been. What an amazing run. And so now we've got 3 drivers in the championship fight separated by just 5 points. This couldn't be any more dramatic. And if you'd given this script to Hollywood, they'd have thrown it in the bin. Too unbelievable. Well, it's fact. Absolutely amazing for Kian Nakamura Berta. He gets the win from Dorian Bain. And in 3rd position, Rashid El Lahiri, the true Emirati in the field, will walk on the podium on home soil. Absolutely sensational. Really, really good work. It's going to be a very exciting podium finish as well. But certainly, as far as the championship is concerned, now it's game on. We have 5 races to go. And after the Formula Regional Middle race earlier, where Tuka Tarpanen took the victory and almost clinched the championship, essentially, now we've got a 3-way tie with 5 points in it. Here's the race highlights. Things could not have been more transformed if you'd asked it to be. Absolutely astonishing. Kia Nakamura-Berta taking the victory in this first race of 3 in front of Dorian Pain. A great drive from the Prema Racing star, and she was ahead of Rashid Al Daheri, the true Emirati, on the podium here in Yas Marina, his hometown. Alex Powell, Enzo Deligny and Dion Gauda grabbing points, along with Gabriel Stilt, Matteo Quintarelli, Gilles Caranta, and in the final points-paying position, Sebastian Murray, after a great drive. Reza Suwerthan is going to be 11th and on the front row for tomorrow's second race, and then Enzo Ye will be P12, and he gets reverse grid pole provisionally. We're not sure if that's confirmed. We will let you know about that tomorrow, but absolutely sensational racing once again from F4 UAE. But the big story tonight is Keanu Al-Azari and Freddie Slater, the championship contenders, collide, allowing the door wide open and the gates of Valhalla to open for Kia Nakamura-Berta to take the win and the championship lead. And there are now 3 cars separated by just 5 championship points. Can you believe the way this season is going in F4 UAE? It is the complete opposite of Formula Regional Middle East, which has all but been sewn up now by Tuukka Tarpanen, 50 points clear with 3 races remaining in Dubai. All he needs is a 10th place finish in race 1 of Dubai to win the title. But it's anything but done in the F4 UAE Championship. 3 drivers separated by just 5 points. And Kia Nakamura-Berta now leads the championship ahead of Freddie Slater and Keanu Al-Azari, with those two, the latter two, having to wait and race from the back of the grid tomorrow. Unbelievable. And so to the podium, and it's going to be Rashid Al Daheri for the Yas Heat Academy colours and the Prema Racing team. A brilliant podium at home. Great to see him there. And a very impressive work from young Rashid Al Daheri in that race. But Dorian Pain for the Prema Racing team gets her first podium of F4 UAE 2024. And rightly so. So nearly a win. So Kia Nakamura-Berta has completely transformed this championship battle. Absolutely incredible win. And of course, he will also take the Rookie Cup victory as well. But what a sensational situation this now gives us, as Kia Nakamura-Berta becomes the new championship leader by 3 points to Freddie Slater, by 5 points to Keanu Al-Azari. This has suddenly become championship game on and thrown wide open. Can you believe it? 5 races left in the championship, and this title fight really could go anybody's way now between Kia Nakamura-Berta, Freddie Slater and Keanu Al-Azari. And whoever wins the championship of the 3 of them, all of them will richly have deserved it. So Rashid Al Daheri lifts a fabulous trophy in 3rd position. Great run from him. Dorian Pain doing likewise in 2nd position. But it's Kia Nakamura-Berta who grabs the victory. Excellent performance, and what a terrific run. So now this championship is absolutely galvanized by young Kia Nakamura-Berta, the Japanese Slovakian Brit for the Mumbai Falcons team. A truly international achievement. He has won both trophies, the winner and the Rookie Cup. And of course now, this is game on. Whatever Freddie Slater and Keanu Al-Azari say now, they've got an even bigger mission on their hands, because now stopping this incredible bandwagon of Kia Nakamura-Berta, the new championship leader, is going to be very exciting from here on out. So as they get busy with the fizzy on the podium, Kia Nakamura-Berta is the new championship leader. What will happen tomorrow? Tune in to find out. I'm Jake Sanson. This F4 UAE Championship just went nuclear. See you tomorrow.